One of the things that makes the Upland metaverse unique is how they onboard brands into the metaverse. Upland currently has a partnership with the NFL Players Association, FC Porto, and the Mangueira Samba School in Rio de Janeiro. The interesting thing, not only for brands but for the regular players, is that Upland is mapped to the real world. So players are able to own virtual properties that are mapped to the real world addresses. We can see here Soldier Field, which is where the Chicago Bears play their NFL football games. And the model here on top of the property is exactly how Soldier Field looks. This property is owned by the NFL Players Association. They also own stadiums in other cities in Upland that host NFL teams. Not all the cities that host NFL teams currently exist in Upland, but as they do, we can expect that the NFL Players Association to own those stadiums as well and begin constructing the stadiums on top of them. Over here in Rio de Janeiro, we can also take a look here at the Mangueira Samba School, and they also have a 3D model on top of their property. We can also see that this property is tagged by Google Maps, and one of the cool things about Upland is that you can actually head in and check out the street view of this property. So this street view actually looks like it's inside the actual property itself, and we can see that it is very similar with the open rooftop to what we can see here in this 3D model. When the Mangueira Samba School and these other partnerships were announced, their properties were set aside and saved for that brand. But this structure did not exist. All Upland players know that in order to construct a house or now outdoor decor items, we require Spark. And that's no different for these brands. These brands don't automatically receive their structure. Things do not just appear in the metaverse, and this rule holds true also for the brand. Now, yes, they do get started off with some level of Spark, but that amount is not enough to build these structures in a reasonable amount of time. And this is a perfect example of that. Here in Porto, we can see Dragon Stadium, which is where FC Porto plays their home games. And we can see that this property is currently in construction. We can see here that it will take 54,000 Spark hours in order to complete this. And there are many players who have contributed to assist FC Porto in building up this stadium, and we can see that it is going to take another 47 days before this is completed. Until then, this stadium will not have any utility. And here's another one. This is Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. This stadium should be built within the week. And Upland frequently has contests for players who are able to assist in helping to build some of these massive stadiums. Currently, players who stake their Spark on an NFLPA stadium are able to be entered into a draw to win some NFLPA 2021 mementos. You can learn more about Legits in the video in the upper right-hand corner. Once these stadiums are built, players will be able to send themselves there in order to purchase Legits. The same thing will be true for FC Porto, and it will be very interesting to see exactly how Upland will integrate the concept of Legits for the Mangueira Samba School. I know that there are some players that are frustrated and say, why can't Upland just create this building and bypass all of this procedure? But I think that that's what makes Upland a special metaverse, where even the brands that enter in are tied to these rules, which also exist in the real world. Upland is trying to recreate the real world, and it doesn't make any sense for a building to be constructed in a matter of seconds. And creating this level of friction, whether it be through construction or whether it be through traveling between different cities that will cost you UPEX and take you time, that is what makes the Upland metaverse special. Leave a comment below because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.